Have you ever wondered why fairy tales, despite their fantastical creatures and impossible adventures, feel so familiar? So deeply true. What if these stories are more than they seem? A secret language, passed down for generations, whispering truths about who we are? Fairy tales aren't just for children, and they were never meant to be. Beneath the magic lies meaning, and behind every dragon, an unspoken fear. Have you ever felt like the world's too much to handle? That life's challenges have you pinned and at your wits' end? Imagine a secret code, one that's been around since the dawn of humanity, hiding in plain sight. It's in the stories our grandparents told us, the ones that made our childhood magical, yet sometimes a little scary too. These tales aren't just make-believe or myths whispered by the fireside. They're a way of understanding ourselves and the world. They're a map of the human experience. Ever wondered about the timeless pull of stories like Little Red Riding Hood, Snow White, and Beauty and the Beast? Why do they keep popping up in our culture? Well, it's because they touch on feelings and experiences that are part of the human condition. They talk about danger, transformation, love, betrayal, justice. Stuff we all deal with. But there's more. There's a secret code hidden beneath the surface. It's a language spoken through symbols, where every character and event has a deeper meaning. This language has been around for ages. Before books and TV, when people shared stories by the light of a fire. These tales served a double purpose. On the outside, they were adventures filled with magic and mayhem. But under the surface, they were a way to pass down wisdom, cautionary tales, and even a bit of hope. They were like secret messages, guiding those who listened, helping them navigate the ups and downs of life. So let's take a closer look at these stories and try to understand what they're really saying to us. We'll explore the hidden meanings and uncover the secrets of this ancient language. Are you ready? Let's dive in. A long time ago, before picture books and streaming services, people used to tell stories around fires. These stories weren't just for fun. They had a secret code, like a hidden message in a bottle, passed from one generation to the next. They talked about things that everyone could understand, like feeling scared or having to make tough choices. They used everyday experiences and turned them into exciting adventures, so kids could learn important lessons without even knowing it. Some stories were about being careful, like not talking to strangers or not taking candy from people you don't know. Other stories taught kids to be kind and helpful. There was even a story about a girl who didn't listen to her mother and ended up lost in the woods. You've probably heard it before, Little Red Riding Hood. Now let's dive deep into the forest. Okay, it's not really a forest, but let's pretend it is. In the story, Little Red Riding Hood is going to visit her grandmother, but she meets a wolf on the way. The wolf tricks her and takes her to the grandmother's house. And well, you know the rest. But why does this story keep coming up again and again? The forest is a symbol of the unknown, of all the things that we can't see or understand. It represents the wild side of human nature, both good and bad. The wolf. Now that's a tricky one. Wolves are known for being smart and independent, but also for being scary predators. They can be loyal, but they can also be sneaky and cunning. You might think that the wolf is just a bad guy who wants to eat Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother, and that's true. But the wolf also symbolizes the temptations and dangers that we face in life. Sometimes those dangers come from people we don't know, like strangers, and sometimes they come from people we think we know, like the big bad wolf in sheep's clothing. Now, back to the story. After the wolf tricks Little Red Riding Hood and eats her grandmother, he lies in her bed, waiting for her to come in. When Little Red Riding Hood arrives, she doesn't know that the wolf is actually the wolf. He pretends to be her grandmother and asks her questions, testing her innocence. This part of the story talks about how innocent young girls can be taken advantage of by older, more cunning men. It's a warning for young women to be careful and aware of the dangers that lurk beneath the surface of everyday life. So remember, just like Little Red Riding Hood, we should always be careful and not trust everyone we meet. Life is full of surprises, and we need to be prepared for anything. And that's why this story keeps coming up in different cultures and times. It's a reminder that not everything is as it seems, and that we should always stay on guard. Let's continue our journey into the enchanting world of fairy tales. Next, we'll explore the tale of Snow White, where a beautiful princess is envied by her stepmother, who is consumed by her own vanity. Join us as we unravel the symbolism behind the mirror and discover the hidden meanings behind the stepmother's obsession with beauty. In the heart of a medieval castle lived a stunning young queen. She possessed a magical mirror that revealed her deepest desires, the desire for absolute beauty. The mirror would praise her, calling her the fairest of them all, until one day a new arrival disrupted this narcissistic tranquility. The birth of Snow White, a child blessed with beauty that eclipsed even the queen's own. Consumed by envy, the queen's obsession with her beauty drove her to a chilling act, banishing Snow White to the forest, sentencing her to death. The tale of Snow White goes beyond a simple beauty tale. It reflects a deeper psychological truth. The mirror in the story serves as a metaphor for the subconscious mind, constantly reflecting and affirming our deepest beliefs and desires. The queen's sole focus on her appearance reveals a narcissistic personality, an excessive preoccupation with oneself, and a lack of empathy towards others. Her relentless pursuit of eternal youth and beauty highlights the vain and superficial aspects of human nature. As the queen commands the mirror to show her the fairest of them all, she becomes fixated on comparisons, a trait common among individuals with narcissistic tendencies. On the other hand, Snow White symbolizes innocence and purity. Her fair skin, rosy cheeks, and flowing hair represent a natural and uncorrupted beauty. Unlike the queen, Snow White's beauty is not tied to external validation or superficial standards. When the queen learns that Snow White surpasses her in beauty, her fragile ego crumbles, leading to an envious rage. This intense reaction stems from the queen's inability to accept her own mortality and the fading of her beauty. The realization that she is no longer the fairest triggers a crisis, driving her to extreme measures. The queen's obsession with maintaining her beauty and status leads to her downfall. She becomes consumed by her own vanity, sacrificing compassion and empathy at the altar of self-absorption. The story warns against the dangers of narcissism, reminding us to look beyond physical appearance and to value inner qualities such as kindness and humility. Ultimately, the tale of Snow White serves as a cautionary reminder to stay grounded, to be wary of those consumed by vanity, and above all, to embrace the beauty within. Next, let's delve into the story of Cinderella. Follow along as we explore the symbolic meaning of the spinning wheel and the slippers, uncovering the hidden metaphors embedded in this beloved fairy tale. In a realm where pumpkins turn into carriages and mice become horses, there lived a young woman named Cinderella. Bound by the constraints of her social standing, she was forced into servitude by her stepmother and stepsisters. Amidst her chores, she found solace in her late mother's possessions, including a spinning wheel. Unbeknownst to Cinderella, this humble tool held a profound connection to her destiny. The spinning wheel in Cinderella's story symbolizes the limitations imposed on her by her circumstances. It represents the burdens and restrictions placed upon her by her stepfamily, trapping her in a cycle of domestic drudgery. Through her association with the spinning wheel, Cinderella becomes associated with the image of a lowly servant. However, it is precisely through this act of spinning that fate intervenes, offering her a chance at transformation. The spinning wheel, initially a symbol of her confinement, becomes a catalyst for change, propelling her toward the grand ball and the possibility of a new life. The slippers that Cinderella loses at the ball hold symbolic significance as well. They represent the delicate balance between her old life and her newfound aspirations. On one hand, the slippers serve as a tangible reminder of her humble origins. On the other hand, they embody the fleeting nature of her magical experience. The loss of the slippers signifies the transience of the extraordinary, reminding us that moments of enchantment often slip through our fingers. Moreover, the slippers become a symbol of Cinderella's identity. They are the key to the prince's recognition of her true worth. Despite their seemingly insignificant nature, the slippers become a powerful emblem of Cinderella's unique charm and allure. As the story unfolds, the slippers become a metaphorical bridge between Cinderella's past and future. They connect her to the memories of her late mother and the hope for a better tomorrow. The slippers symbolize not only the transformation of Cinderella herself, but also the potential for change in one's destiny. In conclusion, the story of Cinderella reveals the symbolic power of everyday objects. The spinning wheel and slippers transcend their literal meanings to become potent metaphors for the complexities of Cinderella's journey. They remind us that even in the most ordinary of items, there exists a narrative waiting to be uncovered. And there you have it, the captivating tales of Snow White, Cinderella, and the hidden meanings woven into their narratives. As we bring this journey to a close, we invite you to reflect on the symbolic language of fairy tales and their enduring relevance in our lives. These stories, with their enchanting characters and timeless lessons, continue to resonate with us because they tap into the deepest recesses of the human psyche. They serve as mirrors reflecting our own fears, desires, and aspirations. By exploring these tales, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the complexities of the world around us. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening exploration of fairy tales. If this video has sparked your interest in the symbolism and hidden meanings embedded in these beloved stories, we encourage you to like and comment. Share your thoughts on the timeless tales that have captivated you throughout your life. Your engagement helps us continue to weave these magical narratives and keep the spirit of wonder alive. Until next time, may your days be filled with enchantment, and your nights with dreams of faraway lands and mythical creatures.